Hey everybody, welcome to the Eureka Springs Channel. I'm Melody, your host, and we're coming to you from Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that quirky little corner of northwest Arkansas. I try to get on screen every now and then a few people that are making themselves available to the public by volunteering, and today we have a big volunteer position, people that are running for office in Carroll County. And I have with me to introduce our candidate is Gene Reed, who is one of the directors of the Carroll County Democratic Party. So let me get Gene onto the screen. Hey, Gene, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank
Good.
you for doing this today.
Oh yeah, we're so excited to always bring information to the public that we think will be helpful in their decision making in Carroll County. You're working directly with one of your candidates in the Democratic Party. Would you like to talk about this particular individual before we bring him on screen?
Yes. And I'm with the Carroll County Democrats on the executive committee. I'm delighted to be able to introduce Jim Wallace. He's a longtime resident of actually 27 years. And I've known him for quite some time, and he's a person of integrity. I'm happy to say that he is with the Inspiration Point Fire Department as a firefighter and an EMR, and he's been doing that as a volunteer for 12 years, which to me just shows how committed he is to the community. He's got a BFA and an MFA and has done university teaching in the past at Texas A&M and also in Muskegon. I'm sure that's not right, but anyway, that's in Ohio. And he's a constable currently with the Western District of Carroll County. So Jim's a great guy, and I think he's more than qualified, and we'll hear from him.
All right. Thanks, Gene, for the introduction. Let's get Jim onto the screen. Jim Wallace. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you. Uh,
Yes, I see on the screen you've got James, but I guess we all know you as Jim. So there you go.
yeah, that was
So
just a
you're
default. Either way.
uh, either way, you'll answer to all of us, won't you? So that the people that for people that are not familiar with county government, could you talk to us a little bit about what does exactly the county judge do?
Sure, I'd be glad to. And thank you for the introduction. You guys are the queens of introduction here in Carroll County. I'll tell you what, the county judge is not like a judge we usually think of. They don't work so much with criminal and civil cases in a court of law, but they do preside over the quorum court. And quorum court is our legislative branch of government in the county. And the judge is the chief executive administrator for the county. So he's going to sign his name to the ordinances that the JPs or justices of the peace uh, enact, usually as ordinances or as other forms of official
Mm-hmm.
documentation. Now, we often think about the responsibility of the county judge as related to the roads and bridges, because that's what we typically run into on a day-to-day basis. But there's a lot more to the job.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you're right. There, as did everybody wears anybody that's in government wears so many different hats and so many different responsibilities, and that's takes a lot of experience. So, what do you think are the qualifications that you believe are the most important for this particular position?
Well, of course, we have the official qualifications from the state statute, which is your age. You have to be 25. You have to be a resident of the county. You have to be of character and good standing, which is a little bit ambiguous. You also need to have, which is a little bit different than most elected positions, but this last part, you do have to have good business education.
Okay. Okay. And so I was thinking also about our particular county. Uh, what do you think today? The Carroll County government itself right now. What do you think it is really doing well today? And then where do you think we could do some improvement?
Um, well, there are some problems. Let's see, those are the things that surface in my mind first. I'm sorry. Uh, the things that are going well, I think given the tightness of revenue flow in the county, I believe that our county judge currently is probably doing as well as he can. But I think at the same time, we need to fix some problems with the revenue flow to increase it. And there is currently a bill, well, it's not a bill yet, but it's an ordinance that's developing in the quorum court to raise a 1% sales tax, which would help out some with the roads and bridges, but also the focus of it is really for the emergency services. Those are under, stress because of the aging of the apparatus that we use in the fire department. And we also need to work on recruiting as our staff is aging out and we're not getting the new generation to replace them as fast as we need.
Okay. So you talked a little bit about, the improvements then for staffing and any other things what other things would be a great improvement for roads and infrastructure? What are some other ideas that you might have?
Well, we've changed recently the number of roads in the county that are going to be taken care of by the county maintenance. And this has been disturbing to a lot of citizens because they're not seeing their road being graded and re-graveled or whatever treatment it needs. And so when we have the spring rains that come through any road areas, it becomes a problem for postal carriers, your Amazon deliveries, but also your ambulances, your fire truck, and everybody who needs to use those roads. It's not just the residents. So this is important stuff.
It really is. It really is. No, and I was thinking also in all types of positions in government. The one thing you talked about, what is it that y'all need to communicate to the public? Because the public, once they don't know something, their mind goes wild, assumptions start going crazy. You get a lot of armchair warriors out there who, are typing and doing things on social media. Seems like transparency is the key for everything these days. The more transparent you are, what are some of the thoughts that you have on that particular problem, and how you could be a part of a newer solution to that?
I think the county judge is in a position to air more of the issues online and what work is being done on that. For instance, I don't know that a lot of people realize that some of our revenue comes from grants that are produced. The money is coming out of the county, coming to the county from state and federal sources, and that the judge plays an important role in getting that money into the county. I would be wanting the residents to be celebrating anytime we get funding for projects that we need done. The other thing is how to do that, how to air that information. Currently, we use Facebook for some things. There is a website. I think it needs a lot of work, and it could have more options to it. It probably is about as navigable as some of our gravel roads right now. It just doesn't get around to the resources that we need to understand what's happening in county government.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
I was going to say too. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go right ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You had a question. Well, I was
just thinking. Go ahead.
When it comes to getting those words, I was thinking, we could. If I were elected judge next year, I would be wanting to do at least a monthly article, like an op-ed in the newspapers. Now, not everybody reads the newspapers, but that could be compiled with, I think I'm off screen.
No, you're still here with me. You're still here with me.
Yeah.
I may be a delay going on.
Oh, I just got a blank screen on my end.
Oh, there you went.
Okay, never mind. Well, I was going to say too, we could use the radio stations. I did on my end. I don't know why that's doing that.
That's okay. I think we can still hear you, Jim. I can. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right, maybe we should. Maybe that'd be something we need to work on is internet access for the county, making it more reliable. I don't know. Is this a subject we need to talk about? I don't know.
Yeah, might be.
Broadband. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, there's so many ideas,
and
there's so many ideas and so many things that can be done in a position like the quorum court judge. I know that you have worlds of ideas and lots of challenges that would be before you. In order to take on this position. I think one of the things that I think most people are always asking when someone first takes office is, what do you plan on doing the first year? And I think from all the people that have come before you, what do you think your first year, if elected, is going to look like?
Well, even in the first month, the very first ordinance that gets passed, there will be new terms for the JPs as well as for the county judge, no matter who they are. And they rewrite or adopt the previous protocol for conducting their meetings. I have some ideas I would like to change to open up the opportunities for people to speak, particularly with public comments. In our neighboring counties, the public comments is open before motions are voted on. In our Carroll County, we don't do that. We only have one period of public comments. It's kind of early on in the meeting, so that when information is shared by the quorum court, there isn't an opportunity for the public to respond to that later, unless they come back the next month. And a whole month later, there's a big time lag involved there that, and it's frustrating for a lot of the public who come in there and they have issues. They also don't understand what issues the quorum court can work with. So if somebody comes in to complain about their roads, the quorum court has nothing to do with the roads. That's strictly between the public and the county judge. So when somebody like David Ryder, for example, says, you need to come to my office and we'll talk about it, the reason he says that is because that's how it's going to be done. Doesn't matter whether I'm in office or somebody else. Some of these things are like that. And
really just basically education for the public, then the chain of how to do things and how to communicate is really an education process itself, isn't it?
It is. And this could be put on the internet website for the county as well, so that people can read up on this. So they don't have to come to the quorum court and then be told, oh, well, we can't help you. That's not a good face for the court, I don't think.
You're right. Yeah. Well, I'm excited about you raising your hand, as I am with anybody who is willing to volunteer and give of their time, and to be a part of the solutions instead of creating more problems. So I'm just thankful to you for, being willing to serve. It's so important for everyone to be informed, and I hope that you'll do more things like this, Jim, for people to be able to hear your voice and hear your ideas and some of the plans that you have that you'd like to implement should you be so lucky to be elected the quorum court.
Well, I would really be remiss if I didn't mention the wind farms, because I know whoever's watching this on the eastern, particularly the eastern half of the county, would want to hear something about that. And yeah, I think it's unfortunate how this played out. I like the idea of green, renewable energy on the surface, but the way this was played out was not well done. And we are going to see some problems in the future with this. So one of the things that is confusing to people right now is they see these wind turbines moving, but they're not hooked up to the grid yet. As I was told when I visited the assessor's office, they're not going to be hooked up till after the first of the year. And the reason is because then the assessment kicks in, and then Scout Energy will not have to pay taxes until 2028, the next year after next year.
Okay. Wow.
And that's all purposeful. This is all orchestrated to be done this way. And Already, they're taking out blades that are decomposing. The fiberglass is delaminating. And this is a real danger because you got to understand, even though those blades don't look like they're moving very fast, that's such a large circumference that the tip of those blades are moving as much as 185 miles per hour. And when shards of fiberglass come off them, they can sail a quarter mile or more.
Wow.
And it'll be throwing fiberglass bits all over the land out there.
Wow.
So it's not going to be usable for grazing by, livestock.
Right.
There's a lot of issues like that.
The more you know. I'd say, well, there is so much information that needs to be passed along to the residents of Carroll County, and I hope that should you be elected, that those communication lines will open up and people will be more informed. Certainly so. I think it's all up to us and all the people that are interested in these particular topics to educate yourself and to reach out to any candidate that might be running for office to get their take on things and to maybe access new information that you might not be aware of, so that we all can be more informed about our votes and how they might be affecting our future here in Carroll County. And again, thank you, Jim, for raising your hand, and any other candidate that's willing to serve the people of Carroll County. We appreciate you very much so. Best of luck to you, and hope everything works out for the best of Carroll County. Thank you very much, Jim, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So get out there and vote. Be ready to be voting and on these particularly important topics. Some of them you may agree with, some of them you may not. But the more that you're educated, the more you'll have a better vote informed of what you want the future to look like in Carroll County. If you are a candidate for any office in Carroll County and you'd like to be on the show to have a few minutes to communicate briefly some of the topics that you're interested in or passionate about that you'd like to share with the people of Carroll County, get in touch with me at the Eureka Springs Channel, and we'll try to get you a time on the show to let you talk to everybody. If you're watching us today, thank you for watching us, and help spread the word about all that we're trying to do here on the Eureka Springs Channel by liking and sharing and following all the good things that we try to do. Thanks again for joining us today, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.